something strange happened this month. Not a scandal, not a viral moment, just a man walking back into the world. Quietly, gracefully, with no fanfare. And the world, it erupted with love. That man was Jimin. And this is the story of how he didn't just come back, he came back as number one. In June 2025, something happened that shook the K-pop world at its core. It wasn't a chart-topping release. It wasn't a world tour announcement. It wasn't a TikTok dance challenge. It was something far more powerful. Presence. After more than a year of military service, Jimin walked out of the gates of the 5th Division Artillery Brigade. Not as a superstar, not as a performer, but as a Korean man who had served his duty with quiet dignity. And in that moment, the entire world paused. Not to hear what he would say, but to remember everything he already meant. No press release, no comeback teaser, no selfies, and yet, the Korea Enterprise Reputation Research Institute revealed something stunning. Out of over 162 million pieces of data, out of 130 idols, one name rose above all. Jimin, with a brand index of 6,984,609, a 170.53% increase from May. Let that sink in. He more than doubled his presence, without saying a single word. That's not media strategy. That's not fan service. That's legacy. It's about what he stands for, what he means, how deeply he's missed. The top keywords linked to Jimin: discharge, redonate. Not dating scandal, not viral challenge, not fashion week, but words that reflect service, kindness, and integrity. The world didn't celebrate his fame. It celebrated his character. And behind him in the rankings? Number 2, Jennie, 6.32 million points, a global icon, a fashion force. A 17% increase this month, shining on runways and stages worldwide. 3, 5.58 million points, the legend, the blueprint. A small drop, but still a titan in the industry. Yet even they, with all their visibility, couldn't eclipse the impact of one silent return. Because Jimin's reappearance wasn't manufactured. It was real. A reunion between an artist and the people who held space for him, even in silence. He didn't need to remind anyone who he was. We never forgot, and now, he's more beloved than ever. 94.55% positivity rating, a number almost unheard of in the public sphere. No promotions, no interviews, no controversies, just presence. Just being Jimin. This isn't just a ranking. It's a mirror, reflecting what we remember, what we admire, and what we wait for. Jimin didn't demand attention. He simply came home, and in doing so, he lit up the world, and behind him, number 4, his brother in art and soul, a 71.94% increase. Nar 5, Gen Z royalty, rising with grace. Rosé, Jin, V, a constellation of brilliance. These rankings, they're more than numbers. They're stories of loyalty, growth, and belonging. But this month, above them all, one name sits with quiet, radiant pride, Jimin, because the truth is, when he walked out of that military base, he didn't just return to hide. He returned to us, to fans who waited, to those who replayed old performances just to feel close, to those who whispered, "Come back safe, we'll be here." And we were. This moment isn't about algorithms. It's about affection, about how love doesn't fade in absence, it grows, about how fame isn't measured in noise, but in the quiet, unshakable weight of meaning. So what now? What happens when someone rises not through strategy, but through sincerity? We don't know the next move, the next song, the next show, but we do know. When he speaks, the world will listen. When he sings, the silence will shatter. When he appears, the room will shift, because Jimin didn't return to the spotlight. He is the spotlight. If this story moved you, if your heart swelled seeing his name at number 1 again, if you felt like you were part of something bigger than fandom, you already understand. This isn't just another K-pop headline. It's a love letter written in real time. And Jimin is the author of it all.